TJ said, I never imagined a revenge business named after my ex's penis would turn into a huge empire.
I did not hear him say that.
Yeah, I was
But
like,
I was
oh.
so happy to see Grace Lilly.
Welcome to We Wine Whenever. Grab your glass and join 3 Jersey Shore housewives, Wendy, Kelly, and Lori, as they dive into everything from Bravo drama to life's everyday chaos. It's unfiltered, it's hilarious, and it's the real talk you've been waiting for, from relationship to pop culture. We drink wine whenever, and we hope you do too. Don't forget to subscribe and give us a 5-star review. Cheers! Hi, welcome to We Wine Whenever. I'm Wendy.
I'm Kelly.
We are talking about Southern Hospitality, Season 4, Episode number 1, Wiener Wars. It's okay.
I mean, I don't well, I guess at the end. Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's the end. It's the end, yeah.
Yeah.
So we start out with them talking about the reunion was 5 months ago. And that's when, at the reunion, the night before the reunion, she found out that Trevor never cheated on her. Emmy and Will said that Bradley made it up so that, I don't know why
to get
he
back
made it
at
up.
her. He
Right,
did
to
it
get
to
back
get
at her.
back at her
Yes,
because
yes.
the first season she said on air that he had gotten a blowjob in the alley, not by his girlfriend. It was
Yes, that's
retaliatory.
correct.
It was retaliatory.
Yes. So when Emmy is telling that, because Maddi starts talking about it on stage. So Will never went to the reunion last
He was
year,
there.
5
He
months
never
ago.
came out. He was
Right,
in the back room, but he never came out.
because his mental health couldn't take it. That's what she said. So then we find out that after the reunion, they're at the hotel and they overhear Emmy and Will talking in their room on the phone to Emmy's mom. And Bradley wrote down some of the things that they heard. We fed Maddi that information to make anything Bradley say look like it was a lie. They believed what I said about his mental health.
We definitely played them.
Yes. So that's crazy. That's just crazy. That's crazy that, 1, that they did it, and 2, that they're allowed to that Emmy's allowed to get away with it.
Well, listen, Bradley got away with making up a whole storyline, getting some girl to come on camera and film with him to say that she actually kissed Maddie's boyfriend. Because Maddie's boyfriend had cheated on her prior to them filming this show. He had a history of infidelity. So it was easy to set him up for this. So Bradley got away with that. I mean, I don't know how these people call each other friends.
Yeah.
It's a little
I know.
crazy. And Maddi said, comes up at the end, but she and Emmy weren't in a good place for a long time.
Right.
So
Right.
I'll tell you what, though. Maybe Will cheated on Emmy. Maybe he didn't. What I don't want is a whole other season to revolve around this, though.
No, who cares?
We can't do another season of this. They're engaged.
Because Will isn't on it.
Right.
Will's not on it.
And they're engaged. She's marrying him. Like, get over it. TJ and Brad annoy me. Like, Maddi and Emmy give main character energy. Bradley and TJ do not. So, like, they just annoy me.
Yeah. So then after that, we see 6 months later, they're all sitting around a table, and Bradley's telling Emily that she stuck a knife in his back and kept turning it and pulling it out. And Emmy's sitting there like crying and breaking down. So that leads me to believe this is 1 month into filming that scene happens, right? So then we go back, kind of have to figure it out. And they're all at Republic. And we see them like walking in, and Emmy says in her confessional that, since New York, she doesn't talk to TJ and Brad at all. And Maddi said she hasn't been around Republic because she's been on a 40-plus show tour. Then we meet Justin, who is a new VIP host, and Michaels congratulates him on his first sale. What's his sale? A bottle? Like, what does a VIP host sell?
Or a table. Maybe like he got somebody to buy a table, like who was just there in the general public. Yeah.
Right. And then we see them working. So they're all working together. They're in Republic together, and Bradley's talking to TJ, and he said, he went on a long walk, and he was listening to the podcast again. And then we find out that I didn't know this, that Will and Emmy were on the Vial Files. And, Nick said to them, do you really think any of your castmates are evil? And Will said, well, yeah, Bradley, he enjoys inflicting pain on others. And Emmy's like, "Yeah, and he's so good at lying." I was like, I guess that happened after the reunion?
Yeah, I would
I
imagine
don't
it
know.
did, yeah.
Is it like, I hope they don't keep doing stuff like this. Like, Bravo was doing this with the podcast. Now, like, I mean, not Bravo.
Yeah,
Housewives was doing this with the podcast. Now, Southern
right.
Hospitality is, like, bringing podcast into this?
Yeah, like, nobody should be like, do an interview, I don't know, I guess there's a fine line, and we don't get people like that on our show, so we can be we're very unbiased. We're biased, we have our opinions, but we're unbiased towards, you know, who I'm not
Right.
explaining
I
it
know
right.
what you're saying. I know what you're
You know
saying.
what
I
I
know what you're
mean?
saying.
Like,
Yeah.
we're not gonna have somebody on our show and be like, "Yeah, you're right," just because they're on our show. We're not gonna do that. Like, we have
Right.
our opinions and we stick to them. I don't think that Bravo, like you said, like, they shouldn't be going on podcasts talking about their castmates. It's just messy, especially when it's off season. Then we have to
Right.
see flashbacks, and it's messy, and it's
Right.
hard to
I mean,
keep up with
especially
for old people
it's
like
hard to
us.
keep. Yes, and especially since Will isn't even coming back, right? He's not back on this season. So then TJ says that when Emmy was on that podcast, that she insinuated that he took advantage of Joe when he passed out, because the whole scene that happened last year when Joe and TJ were talking and
Right. TJ thought Joe was making a move,
right,
and Joe said he
right,
was drunk.
right.
Now, I didn't listen to the podcast. Did TJ insinuate that Joe made a move on him? So isn't that TJ insinuating that Joe is a predator?
Well, no, I don't think so.
Like,
I
isn't
don't
he
think that
mad at
that's
Emmy for doing the same thing he kind of did, or no?
I don't think so, because I don't think he's in. I think that he was getting mixed signals, right? I think he was getting I think that's what his complaint was. Like, he thought that his friendship was something that it wasn't, and I don't know. I don't know specifically though.
And I don't know
But
if I buy it.
Yeah, Bradley then says, like, he feels bad about the lying, about Maddie's ex-boyfriend and cheating, but he apologized to Maddie at the reunion, and he said, "We're good." And then 2 seconds later, Maddie's like, Brad and I are not good." I was like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah,
Okay, okay.
yeah.
So she's like, since the reunion, he hasn't reached out to, he hasn't tried to make amends. I don't think he realizes the magnitude. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah, I
okay.
mean, it's great that he apologized and took accountability. I totally give him credit for that. But if you haven't talked to her and you haven't had any additional conversations, I mean, I feel like an additional conversation would probably be helpful. I mean, saying we're good, we could say that about anybody. But I think
Right.
an additional conversation probably would have been better than not.
Well, this is what I mean. I could be wrong, but this is what I think possibly happened, is that after the reunion, he apologized and she said everything was good. Then she went on tour and they didn't really see each other until they
Right,
started filming. And that's
right.
when Maddie came back. And meanwhile, it's been on her mind this whole time. And Bradley had no idea because she wasn't around. So how is he going to have a conversation? It's not something you're going to text.
Right, right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it seems like
Or
this is what
maybe
happened.
prior to filming, like, one of them should have reached out to the other one and been like, "Listen,
Well,
where are we? Do we need to
I
talk
think
before this?"
I think Joe should have done it because Joe knew that Maddie felt a way about it. And Bradley had no idea.
Yeah, like, this is the problem, that we think they're all friends. Clearly, they're not, because they're not communicating with each other unless they're being recorded and getting paid to do so. That's not friends.
Right. So then we see Molly shows up at Republic and she's like, if you would have asked me a year ago that my life is where it is now, I would have, I would have cried and laughed. She's like, she no longer works at Republic. She said there was personal stuff with Michaels and he used bullshit reasons to get me fired. And then I'm like, what the heck is going on here? Because then all of a sudden, Lake sees Molly come in and she immediately runs back to tell Michaels. I was like, okay. Michaels,
Okay, but so Molly asks Lake to have a side conversation with her.
right.
She was not screaming at her. She was not being aggressive. She was being a little snarky. She
Well,
was
she was being
not being
snarky.
aggressive, but she
She
was
was
not
being
being
snarky.
aggressive or screaming. The way Lake communicated that conversation to Michaels, don't think Michael should have reacted the way he did. He was over the top, but I don't know if he would have been so over the top had Lake not said, "She screamed at me."
Well, I think too because Michaels came out and saw Lake talking to Molly, and he was
Okay.
mad because she's supposed to be working at the door. So he's
Right.
telling Lake, "You need to get back to work." And
Right,
I
and then
think
she said, "She screamed at me."
right,
She did not.
I think what I'm saying is I think she was covering for what happened, why she wasn't at her post where she was
Uh,
supposed to be. Do you know what I'm
right.
saying? I think that's why it got blown up that way, and he was already heated that she was
Yeah,
even
he
there.
was jacked up about it. But Lake
Yeah,
Lake was the problem in this situation.
I think so too, I think so too. So and then meanwhile, we see Leva over there talking to Molly, and Leva's like, you're still family, like, it's okay, like, it didn't work
Was
out."
a prior conversation she had with her that they flashed back to. I don't think that that was the same evening.
I
Was
thought it
it?
was. I thought it was because Leva's talking to her and she said, I know stuff got difficult here, meaning at the club. She's like, you
Okay.
have so much potential. You obviously are already successful because we find out she's working a full-time job, event planning, right?
Yeah, and she was doing that last year when she was on the show.
Right. Right. And what Leva said is that, in her confessional, she said, she was switching shifts a lot. And eventually that's going to be a problem. So I guess that's why she wound up getting fired.
Yeah. I mean,
Right?
listen, Michael's probably had something to do with it, but
Well, that
whatever.
he did. Like he said, I don't know if he has that much power.
Right. Well, that's true. I mean,
I mean,
Leva's not letting other people
right. And even when,
call the shots.
when he went back and Leva was talking to him and he was, crying, he was really upset. I
Yeah,
mean, he
for
was real.
sure.
First of all, I thought she handled it so well.
She's such a good boss.
She
She's
really
such a good
is.
boss. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought she handled it so well. She made her point. She was kind. She was caring. She gave him a hug. She offered him a hug several times,
She
but she
did.
said, "Listen, you know what? You can't explode like this and be a manager here. Like this is a business I'm running." And I think she did a great job. But the fact that she said that to him also leads me to believe that there's no way that he got Molly fired. There's no way. I don't think he has that power. I don't think he does.
Listen, I didn't really like Molly last year. I didn't like Molly or Lake last year. I didn't think they brought anything last year.
So then what happens?
Emmy and Maddie do a float spa. I really want to
Okay.
do this. There's one right next to Salon Centric.
I know there is, but would you wanna be in a pod with somebody else? I would not.
No, I would not. When Maddie jumped in, I was like, "What is going on?" I would want to do that by
I
myself.
I
That
thought
is
so
not
too.
relaxing.
No, no, it is not. I was like, "Oh my god, why is she getting in there with her?"
No, I totally agree with that.
And then they go in the sauna after the float spa, and they're talking, and Maddie Emmy says, "Well, how are things going with you and Joe?" And she's like, "Yeah, he's ready to get a house and get married and have kids." And she's like, "Getting married is like, it scares the shit out of me. Like, I don't know that, I'm ready for that."
They're so
And
young.
they are young. They are young. And Emmy's like, "Well, I'm getting married." And she's like, "No, no, I'm happy for you. For you, that's good, but that's all Emmy's ever wanted. That's all Emmy's ever wanted." So yeah,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
We find out that they got engaged in France, her and Will.
I'm
She
rooting for
also
those 2. I
I
really
know
am
you
rooting
are.
for Emmy and Will. I know I always have. I don't know why. I like her. I was her. I think that's why I'm
Mm,
rooting for her.
yeah, and I feel like listen, I feel sorry for her. I feel sorry for her because I think Will's gonna screw her over. I don't think Will's a good guy. It's just my gut.
I think maybe he wasn't in the past, but I do think that now look at her, like, she stopped drinking, her body is banging. She's on a show by herself now because he's not even on it anymore. She's holding her own. She's making like listen, he could do whatever he wants to do and walk away. She's the one in the public eye. She's gonna do well no matter what. And I think that maybe that makes him respect her a little bit more. And
Maybe.
I'm not agreeing
Yeah,
with this if
yeah.
this is the way it is, I'm not agreeing with this, but maybe before he did kinda just look at her like somebody who just wanted to marry him because he was gonna be a lawyer and she wanted to marry a lawyer. You know what I mean? Like, she wants to be the stay-at-home mom with a lawyer husband and live in a big house and raise kids, and maybe now that she's got all this other stuff going on, he kinda looks at her a little bit differently. I'm not saying that's right or that I agree with it, I'm just saying maybe that's what's going on now.
I mean, that's possible. It's possible. But Maddie again talks about like how she was physically sick and she's got like this crippling anxiety. That's a
Yeah,
problem. Like
that's
that's
a
a
big
problem. Like
problem.
why would you, why first of all, why would you allow yourself to go through this for 5 months? Like I don't
If she
know.
was on tour, I mean, I you can obviously do therapy via, virtual, but she was on tour, it might have been difficult, but yeah, that's a I mean, I don't listen, I don't have anxiety, but I know enough people who do where it really is crippling. It's very difficult to watch from the outside,
No,
so I can't imagine how it
I know.
feels to
I
be
I
in it.
agree. I know, I agree. And I just feel
Yeah.
bad that she had to suffer 5 months, you
I
know.
mean, this guy, although maybe not the best guy in the world, Trevor, but he got publicly humiliated on national television. He really did.
Mhm.
I mean, Brad brought some girl on to lie and say that like, that's wild.
Yeah, it is
That's
wild. It
crazy.
is. It is. So the next thing we see is all the boys meet up for boys' night. I thought this just first of all, I like Justin,
Me
the new
too.
guy. I like Justin. We find out a little bit about him. Justin has a history with Charleston. He lived there in 2019, and he was spent some time in Boston, LA, Sydney, Australia. And
Did you notice how
he,
his look changed depending on where he lived?
yes, I did. I did. I did.
Very good looking guy though, and I agree, if he groomed his hair better, he would be a Charleston 10.
Yeah, yeah. So he was in a relationship, the relationship ended, and he was at a crossroads, so he said, "You know what? I'm gonna go south." So that's how he wound up back in Charleston,
And he's
and
friends with
he
TJ,
said
he said, right?
yeah, he's friends with TJ, and he called TJ, told him he's moving back. He said, I got some abs, I got a new haircut." And like what I said, we see all these different pictures of him, and he looks totally different, but I thought he looked the best in Charleston. I thought he looked good.
Yeah, the first picture they showed of him in Charleston, for sure. Yeah, like, do your hair like
Yeah,
that. I mean, listen, Justin, do whatever you want, but
right.
we thought the
Yeah.
first picture of Charleston was very good.
Yes. I thought it was funny when the producer, because when, Michael said that, you know, if he's a Charleston 8, but he could go to a Charleston 10, the producer said to Michaels, "Well, if Justin's a Charleston 8, then what are you?" He's like, I'm a 11."
He certainly is.
I was
Michaels
like,
is adorable.
yeah. So then the next thing that happens with Justin, he's telling the guys that he had to reveal something, like, really personal to his mom, and she's sitting there, and she's like, "Yeah, Justin, I know you're gay." And he's like, "How long you been sitting on that?"
He's like, "Actually, I'm not."
Yeah. And then Joe
But how
Bradley
cool of
said
his mom, how cool of his
yes,
mom to do that, you
yes.
know?
That's hysterical. I mean,
Yeah,
that's hysterical. And then Joe
yeah.
Bradley jumps in, he's like, "My dad was the same way. I used to play dress up in preschool." And he's like, my dad said, "Oh, shit, he might be gay." And he's like, "No, I just like chicks." And then just said, then when I got really good at artwork, my dad's like, "Oh, he might be gay again." I was like, "Wait, what?"
The best was TJ. He's like, "Wait a minute. I'm not the one that started that rumor? His dad
It
is?"
was his dad, right. But I will say, when they were laughing, like, they were all hysterically like, it was a real laugh. It was real
Yeah,
laughter, and it was
yeah,
like a real boys' night, and I at that point, I
yeah.
really enjoyed seeing that.
It was nice. That's what
It
we like
was
to
nice.
see.
Yeah, because then comes the next hard part where Joe said, "We're doing good, but, Maddie had a really, hard year." Like, Brad's like, "Well, what made it hard?" And he's like, "Honestly, it's you and TJ. Like, she's not okay. She's having constant breakdowns. That text traumatized her." You could see Bradley had no idea. You could see I mean, it's not like he was faking it. He didn't know.
Yeah, yeah. I could yeah, you could tell. He was just like, well, like just like you said, he just had no idea.
Yeah. So, Brad's like, "Well, what do I have to do? Like, what is it you want me to do?" He's like, "Well, I want you to make an amends and apologize." He's like, "Okay, all right, if that's what you want, but."
But he did say, "I made amends with Maddie. What do I need to do? Kiss the ground she walks on?" I mean, I feel like part of all of this is that TJ and Brad aren't main characters. They're just not. They're side characters in this show. And I think that they feel a certain way about that, quite honestly. And I think that that's why they did do what they did with Maddie and they did do what they did with Emmy and Will. I mean, the chances are Will was guilty, but still, I think that they're doing this because they're not getting the attention that they think they deserve, I guess. I mean, Brad going after Maddie was definitely retaliatory because she said what she said, but I don't know. I really do feel like Brad and TJ resent the fact that like Joe, Maddie, Emmy, they're just bigger characters on this show.
Well, I definitely think TJ's petty. TJ's
Yeah,
petty.
he's
He's
very
always been
petty.
petty.
Yeah.
He's just petty. I think that the fact that Joe Bradley got what he's always wanted bothers them. I do.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you're right.
I mean, because Joe was one of the boys. Like, he was one of the
Right.
boys.
And he was a
He
player
always and he was a player, but he always pined after Maddie. That's what he wanted. He always wanted Maddie. And the
from
fact that he
season
got
1.
Maddie.
Yeah.
Yes, the fact that he got Maddie, I think it kinda bothers them. And it also bothers them that they're okay with Will and Emmy.
Right. Right.
So
That Joe and Maddie are okay with Will and Emmy.
right.
Yes.
Because they're not okay with Will and Emmy. And Will and Emmy were a part of it too. But like you said at the end, Maddie says, "I wasn't close with them. You and I were close. We were tight." So, and she's right. She's absolutely right.
Listen, it obviously served Will and Maddie well to give Maddie I'm sorry, Will and Emmy well to give Maddie that information the night before the reunion. It served them well. But the bottom line is they told her the truth when Brad
Right.
and TJ never did. Brad and TJ would
Right.
have taken that to their grave.
Right. Exactly.
And
Exactly.
ultimately it was Brad, but TJ was definitely, you know, co-signing and riding
Yes.
shotgun for that whole season.
No, I agree. Then we see Molly meets up with Michaels in the park. I mean, I was shocked by this whole thing, to be quite honest with you. I think Michaels was wrong. I think he was totally wrong. I think that Molly was friends with Preston. Molly I mean, she was friends with Michaels too, but Preston was her friend, I think, first. And I think that Michaels did probably cheat on him. I do
I
think that
mean, he
that's what
probably
happened.
started getting a lot of attention from the show, a lot of
Yeah.
DMs.
Yeah.
Listen, we know how this works now. Now we know
Right.
how this works. Yeah, I agree. I
Yeah.
agree.
So she stood by her friend. And listen, I think it's great that they apologize, that they
Yeah,
both apologize, and that they're gonna move forward. I don't think we're gonna ever hear about this again.
I
Let's
hope
hope that
not.
that's the case. Right.
I hope not. And it is a shame because Michaels and Preston, I thought, because didn't he end the season dating him?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, like they were cute. They were a very cute couple. So it is a
Yeah,
shame, but I agree. I think he started getting the DMs and, it
right,
is what it is.
right. Then we find
Then
out
we
it's
go
Sir
to the
Wiener's.
wiener part.
Yeah, it's their first anniversary, and we find out that it has grown a lot. It's been on talk shows, it's been in magazines. They have a full line of merchandise. TJ said, "I never imagined a revenge business named after my ex's penis would turn into a huge empire."
That's where the name came from?
Yeah, I guess so.
That's hysterical. I did not hear him say that.
Yeah, I was
But I
like, "Oh."
was so happy to see Grace Lily.
Yes, yes,
I love
especially
Grace
after what
Lily. For some
happened.
reason, she reminds me of Joe's girlfriend, who I also love.
Yes,
She's just adorable.
she is adorable. We find out Mia's in Hawaii with her boyfriend, Troy, possibly being proposed to, but they have a cardboard cutout of Mia.
Gets knocked down eventually.
Yes, she does. Have you watched Summer House at all? Summer House is so good. You really should watch it. Summer House, I think it was Kyle. I think it was Kyle did cardboard cutouts of all of them. It's so funny how these cardboard cutouts wind up throughout the house.
Really?
Yeah, you
Like,
would
of
like it.
people who've left the show?
No, no, the people that are there.
The people that are on the show.
There's one of
I'm
Kyle,
kind of
there's one.
boycotting Summer House, and I'm sure Amanda and Kyle really are separated this year, but they say it every year, and I feel like they say it every year to get people to watch the show, and I'm just kinda I'm over Kyle and Amanda. If Kyle and Amanda were off the show, I would watch it. I still love seeing Carl. I still like seeing Lindsay, and I'm not even that big of a Lindsay fan. And whoever else they bring up, I really don't love West and Jesse, but I would watch it. I would watch it. I really can't stand Kyle and Amanda. Mostly Kyle, but I feel like she just listen, she knew what she was doing. She knew what she was signing up for. I don't want to hear it.
You are so tough. You would, like, give
I
no one
know.
any grace.
I
You said
don't.
the same thing with Brittany and Jax,
Yeah,
which, by the way, the Valley's coming back.
we were talking about it at the salon today. Cannot wait.
Okay, so that you can't wait for. I love the
The
Valley.
Valley, I'm here for sure. Let me ask you something. Do you really think Sheena, and I know that that guy, the producer, whoever he is,
Yes,
not
she turned
Carlos
it
King, the
down.
other guy, she really turned it down. Why
Alex
would she
Baskin.
turn this down?
She talked about it because she got to a point. She actually called up she called up Paige. Did she call up Paige or Lindsay? No, she's Lindsay. So she's very good friends with Lindsay. Sheena Shea is very good friends with Lindsay because Lindsay was on her podcast. And after watching what Paige did and stepped away from Summer House and where she was at and where Sheena was at with her career and with her book coming out and, with where she was at, she just felt like she needed to take a step back. And Alex said if she's welcome to come back anytime she
Yeah, the door
wants.
is always open.
Yeah, the
I
door's
feel
always
like,
open.
and this is no shade, but I'm not a huge Sheena fan. I'm actually not a big Paige fan either, but
Oh, I know that.
I feel like Paige had a lot more going on career-wise than Sheena does. Sheena put a book out with lies.
I don't think they're
Lies.
lies.
He did not cheat on her. Stop.
Well,
Please.
yes, he did.
Oh, he did not cheat on her. He did not cheat on her. There's no way. She's so full of shit. She's just trying to sell books.
I think he cheated
There's
on
no
her.
way. I think Paige had way more going on career-wise.
Well, she
Rightfully
does,
so.
but Sheena has a child and a husband. Paige was single.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, but I'm
I
saying
mean,
for
it's
for
not just about
like, for
career.
Paige to walk away from a show, she had a lot more to fall back on. I don't feel like
Again,
Sheena does.
I definitely think Paige's career is way more successful than Sheena's. But what I'm saying is Sheena has different priorities. She has a husband and a child. So
Right,
that
but to sustain her lifestyle,
she has a
she has
podcast,
to have
she has a
means of
book.
an income.
I mean, she has means. I'm not saying she doesn't have means. She also did her and Brock were on a sitcom. She did say she wants to get back into acting. So, I mean, she wanted to take a
She's
break.
really good at it. She really should.
You're so mean. You're being mean. You're
She
being
is
a
the
mean girl.
worst. She is
Stop being a mean girl.
All right, all right.
So
All right,
I
let's
think
get
it's
back
so
to Southern
funny.
Hospitality.
Yeah, I think you're so funny. You make me laugh. What about Grace Lilly doing tarot card reading and she keeps dropping the cards? That was like, okay.
I know, because I know they're bad. When she said, first of all, she did say that a minister was doing her nails. She 100% said that. And I don't know who it was, but they were like, wait a minute. Was the minister doing your nails? Well, the minister was in the nail place. They're not supposed to be good, tarot cards. You know, the whole psychic thing and medium and
Right. You don't need a minister to
not
tell you that.
right, right. It's not, it's bad juju, but she's so damn cute. Like, let her do her tarot cards. She's so damn cute, Grace
Yeah.
Lilly. But she did keep dropping them. I don't know what that means. I feel like it can't be good.
Then we see Maddie and Joe are in the car on the way to go there. And Maddie's like doing these deep breathing exercises, trying to control herself. And she's not as upset that Bradley and TJ are going to be there as she is that Bradley and TJ gave Joe a hard time at boys' night. That's what she's upset about.
The defensiveness, the
Right.
combativeness.
Yes, that was her word, combative. I didn't realize that she had to work it. Like, that was a little much.
I
Right?
agree. Yeah,
Like,
I
that
feel
was a
like you
little
probably coulda
much.
gotten other people to work it if she felt a certain way about it.
Yeah. And Leva's there, and she admits that, she was a little skeptical of the idea, but she's proud of him that he's doing so well, and it's good for her business too. So that's great.
Yeah, yeah.
And Maddie and Emmy are both there serving the wieners. And there's a new wiener called the cheater wiener. And Maddie thinks it's about cheating, but
Well,
TJ says it's about cheating on your diet. No, because like
no,
Maddie
he's
said,
full of
all the
shit.
wieners are named after people.
Yeah, and even the description, I should have written it down. What he wrote, like loyalty, like was definitely about Will. It was a dig. It wasn't nice,
Yeah. No.
but that's TJ.
Right. And no, TJ's petty. TJ is
Yeah,
petty.
yeah.
Listen, I honestly have never been a fan of TJ's. I really haven't.
No.
I haven't. We find out Bradley has a girlfriend. Her name is Julia. They've been together almost a year. And Emmy is the one who encouraged Julia to date Bradley, which is interesting,
Yeah,
right?
prior to everything, right?
Yes.
She worked at his gym.
Yes, I think so. So Maddie's out there like really dissing the hot dogs, saying they're gonna make you sick. They don't taste good. Then she knocks over the cardboard cutout of Mia. And you see TJ watching her the whole time. And I'm like,
He's like,
gosh,
"What is
this
she
is
doing?"
yeah. Uh then it's over, and then Joe asks Maddie if she's going to the after party. TJ goes over and thanks Emmy and Maddie for working today because he knows that they didn't want to do that, which I thought that was nice
I
for
agree.
TJ.
I agree. Yes.
And then Maddie says, there's been plenty of times where you could have apologized for conspiring with Bradley and Mia. And TJ said, well, how am I involved? Like, me and Will were there too. Like, why is it just me you're saying this to? And Maddie said, well, her and I weren't friends at the time. You and I were. And then Joe comes over. He's like, I heard my name. Then he jumps into it. Then Julia feels the need to jump into it.
Bad move.
I mean, yeah,
Bad move,
Julia, what
Julia.
were you?
Yeah. Slow your roll. Slow your roll.
Yeah, that wasn't going to go well.
Mm-mm. I didn't like how Maddie started making fun of her though, because she was trying to make a point. She was probably nervous. She was on camera for the first time. She, stuttered a little bit. I didn't like how Maddie made fun of her though.
No, I didn't either.
That wasn't nice.
Yeah.
I mean, what she said about her in her confessional was very funny. Like, she wasn't even born yet. The whole thing about her being young, funny, but don't make fun of her stuttering. She was probably
Yeah.
nervous.
Yeah, she probably was nervous. And if she wasn't nervous and she really does have a stutter, then that's
Oh,
even
it's
more of a
even
reason
worse.
not to make right, exactly. Exactly.
Even worse. Yeah.
Right, because we don't know because we've never met her before. Like, this is the first time we're meeting her.
Right.
And that's pretty much where it ends.
So I have to ask you though, because I'm watching this on Peacock, right? But you know how when Peacock starts, once in the little corner it says, next episode or coming up next, you can't rewind anymore on Peacock. So I thought I heard something. Then I went to my DVR and I fast forwarded to the end of the episode and it wasn't there. TJ says he could ruin Maddie's year. And then he says something else on Peacock, but it wasn't in my DVR. And it was something about Joe Bradley. But Maddie keeps saying she and Emmy were not in a good place. And then he says something, I could ruin your whole year. And I could swear he said something about your boyfriend. And she went crazy. But it was on Peacock. It wasn't in my DVR and I couldn't rewind it.
And I didn't watch it on Peacock. I watched it in the DVR. I mean, I
So you
wonder
wouldn't have heard any of it. So you saw her say, we weren't in a good place. Maddie and Emmy weren't in a good place, but Maddie says to TJ, but you and I were in a good place. And he's like, were we? Were we though? I could ruin your whole year. And then he says something about your boyfriend and she goes crazy. Maybe they'll open next week's episode with it, but listeners, if anybody knows what he said, please tell us. Because I
yeah,
totally missed
definitely.
it. So you watched it on the DVR.
I watched it in the DVR, yeah, I didn't watch it on
It
Peacock.
wasn't on there. It was only on Peacock, but I couldn't hear what he said and I couldn't rewind. I guess I could just put it back on Peacock and fast forward to the end, but
Yes, you could.
I'm kinda lazy, people. I'm not gonna lie. If you guys just wanna type it into the comments, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, because Julia said, "You walked up to Bradley and said, 'Let's squash the beef.'" Maddie said, "That never happened. That never happened." So
I
that's
mean, why are every, like, they well, you know what? You can't even say Maddie was drunk and said that because she doesn't drink. Because when
no.
you're drunk, you're like, "Oh, I love you," you know? But she doesn't drink, so she doesn't have those moments, and Emmy doesn't drink,
Oh, right. Yeah, yeah.
which is
I wonder if Ju
probably why the 2 have bonded for so now.
Yeah, yeah. I wonder how much we're gonna see Grace Lilly. She was arrested this past summer, wasn't it this past summer?
Yeah. For happy pills or something? I
Something,
don't mean to
yeah.
laugh, but
No,
she's
but
just so damn cute.
I mean, she's a little bit out there.
Yeah, I
She's
just
very
don't,
wavy gravy,
she's
baby,
very
baby.
wavy baby. Very wavy baby.
She's very
And I
pretty
wouldn't
too.
want her
She's a
any
very
other
pretty
way.
girl.
She
She's very
is.
pretty.
She is. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to wait and see what happens. I do like this show, I do. But I
I do.
also like, Summer House, and I also like The Valley, and I did watch the whole it took me a while, but I did watch the whole Valley Persian Style. I really like that.
You did, huh?
I know you won't watch it because you don't like Gigi.
I'm not into G.
I don't like Gigi either, but she's not the whole show. I really love
I know.
MJ. MJ no, she's not MJ anymore. Mercedes. That's her real Persian way to say her name. I love Vida. I love her mother, Vida. I do like Reza. I am a Reza fan. I love Adam. I love Reza's husband,
Oh, yeah.
Adam.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's so funny to me, like, Adam is actually, like Gigi's, like, his, like, BFF, like, he ride or dies for Gigi, which I think is so funny because they are
Really?
so opposite. Yes, yes. You should
Yeah.
watch
That's
you should
interesting to
watch
me.
you should watch Valley Persian Style. You really should. I'm telling you, you would like it.
Maybe I'll try it if I have nothing to do one day. What do you think about Southern Charm? Did you watch the latest episode?
I gave up on Southern Charm. I didn't finish
Oh, you
watching the
did.
season. I gave up
Okay.
on it. I just feel like the men are boys and the girls are so young and petty, and the whole thing that was going on with Sally and Charlie and, like, Austin and Craig, I'm like, "This I don't know." Like, it's just annoying to me. I just feel like it's annoying. I know I
Here's my
saw Craig
takeaway.
stormed off. Like, he stormed off.
Here's my thing. I love Southern Charm, and it has become about the boys. Shep, Austin, Whitney, and Craig. These are the boys. And now there's Whitner on the show, who I really like. The show has become about the boys, and I'm okay with that. Craig should not drink. Craig should never have gone back to drinking when he and Paige broke up. And I know he was upset, and I know that that's what people do. But get your shit together now, Craig, because you just should not drink. You're not a good drinker. There are good drinkers. There are bad drinkers. You're a bad drinker. I'm not saying you have a drinking problem. You're just a bad drinker. Don't do it.
It it's interesting
Sally?
because do you remember when Shep was, like, really bad at BravoCon and Austin and, Craig, like, were mad at Shep and they stopped talking to him because of his drinking?
They didn't want to enable him anymore.
Right.
In their
Well,
words.
I think that Austin and Shep need to have an intervention with Craig.
For sure. And it's interesting you say that because Shep said on this last episode, like, because Craig was terrible to Sally in the van. He was saying nasty things. He was yelling. He was drunk and it was bad. And Shep said, I'm not going to make him feel worse than what he's already doing to himself. Although here's the thing. I don't think Craig takes any accountability. He didn't feel bad. You could tell right out the gate. He didn't feel bad. Or if he did, he didn't know how to express it and he will not apologize. It's a terrible, terrible character trait when you can't apologize. I've always told my kids that. One listens, one doesn't. What can I do? But Shep said when I got kicked out of boarding school my senior year, when my mother came to pick me up, she said, there's nothing I can say to you that's going to make you feel any worse than what you're making yourself feel. He says, so I won't do that to my friend. Shep is the voice of reason this season, and I'm here for it. But Craig shouldn't drink. But Sally is the one ruining this show for me. I can put up with Vanita. I could take Vanita. I think she's a little middle schoolish, but Sally, she likes all the boys, so nobody else can like them. Every girl is her best friend, and every girl has somehow betrayed her where she's the victim. She's a pick me girl. She's not a girl's girl. She's doing way too much to be relevant on this show, and I think she needs to go. I think they need to get rid of her. What they really need to do is bring back Cameron, maybe not Naomi, Chelsea. They need to bring back the old girls and let's see what's going on in their lives. Because the show's definitely about the boys now. And these girls, I like Charlie, but she's like a fish out of water. That's my take on Southern Charm. But you've given up, huh?
I gave up. Yeah, I gave
All
up.
right.
And I didn't watch it. I only started watching it 2 years ago. So I only watched 2 seasons, and I didn't watch it way back
Cameron's
when.
the
So I
best.
yeah, I don't
Cameron's the
know
best.
Cameron. I don't know I don't know him. And this
It's a
season
girl.
I was like, she's a girl.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I didn't know Cameron. Oh
She
wait,
was like
is
the
what's
Madison. She was like, you know how like Madison does the intros? Like
oh wait,
she was like,
is it Cameron Eubanks? Is that
yeah,
her name?
she was on The Real
Okay,
World.
okay, I've heard the name. I've heard the name.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I
So
love
she
Madison.
wasn't dating her. Oh God, I love Madison. Yeah, like I just need a show with the boys and Madison. I mean, if they brought back Chelsea and Cameron, I would be super happy, but I just like the boys and Madison and I love their relationship with each other. Vanita, again, I like her. I just think sometimes she's a little immature, I think. But Sally is just I don't know what she's trying to do. And I don't believe a word she says anymore. So remember when she first came on the show, she acted like she and Gaston, Taylor's boyfriend, were
Mhm.
like in this big relationship. I don't even believe that's true anymore. I think they were probably hooking up and that's it. I believe Taylor now because I just think Sally is doing too much. I've been thinking about this for a long time. I'm really glad we talked about this. I really had to get that out. I want to know what the listeners think about Southern Charm.
Yes. And I would like to know what you guys, the listeners, think about Valley Persian style
Yeah.
and the regular Valley, because the regular Valley's coming back.
Yeah, we'll definitely recap that show. I'll do that show. Yeah.
Yes. And we have Rhode Island, Real Housewives of Rhode Island coming, and we have Real Housewives of Atlanta coming. And I am here for both of them.
Yep, that'll
Can't
be
wait.
great.
Cannot wait.
Yeah, that'll be great. I'm so glad Potomac is done.
Yes, me too.
Sayonara. But I'm enjoying
Okay.
Beverly Hills. Beverly Hills is good.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah.
Anything else we need to chat about?
No, I think we're good. I think we've really covered a lot of Bravo info.
We really have.
Too much wine. Too much wine.
Yep. So thank you for watching and listening. Please go over to YouTube, subscribe, tell your friends. Actually, go to Instagram too. For some reason, nobody follows us on
Yeah,
Instagram. I
it's so
don't know why. I have
strange.
no idea.
Yeah.
Go to Instagram and YouTube. Please hit the follow button. Bye.
Bye.